Once we've placed and orientated the edge pieces on this side of the cube, our next goal is going to be this: to orientate all of the edge pieces on the new green U layer that we're going to make. I'm not worried about placing or matching any of these pieces at the moment. We're just going to orientate these pieces here. And we'll do that in a number of steps with familiar algorithms. I'm going to walk you through the sequences that I use to orientate the inside and outside edges on my last layer. The first one, all of them that I do, except for one, I do with the unbandaged faces on the left and the right side of the cube. The first one that I'll show you is the orientation sequence, which is front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back. And what you'll notice is that this piece has come from here and just the whole piece has jumped over like that. The next thing is that this piece has moved sideways like that to there, and these pieces have moved over into there. Now, seeing it on a solved cube helps you to imagine what's happening and to notice that which pieces are moving around. The next one that I'm going to show you is Sune applied to this unbandaged, with the unbandaged edges on the side. Now you'll notice what's happened is that both of these edges together, both of the inside and the outside edges, have just changed places. So both together to there, to there, to there, and to there. Well, the parity alg will do exactly the same as that application of Sune, and that is it'll just switch these two pieces like that, but leave these bottom ones intact. And you can see these two pieces have been switched, those and those. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is when we apply Sune across the unbandaged face. You can see it performs just like it would on a Rubik's Cube, where these pieces have gone from there to there to there to there. The whole edge piece has gone across all three pieces all at once. And likewise, if we perform the parity alg with the unbandaged face as F, it switches those two whole blocks. It leaves those ones intact. This is my goal orientation pattern for the green cross, in which two of my edge pieces are completely orientated and one edge piece has the inside edge piece orientated and an inside edge piece in the top row here. I'll just perform front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back to show you that that orientates those pieces, but doesn't necessarily place any of the pieces down here. This is the mirror of that goal orientation pattern, in which to solve it I would just simply do the mirror of the algorithm, which is front anti-clockwise, up anti-clockwise, left anti-clockwise, up, left, front, and that will orientate that. That's just a handy little addition to know. And both of those algorithms are performed with the bandaged face on the front and the two unbandaged faces on the sides. Now, when I apply most of my algorithms, I'm going to be wanting that bandaged face on the front. What that's going to do for the most part is rotate what I'm going to call the lid, which is everything above these inside edge pieces. So the top part here and all of the pieces within it. When I apply Sune, I'm going to be rotating just the top lid if I have the bandaged face at the front. When I apply the parity alg, I'm going to be switching all of the pieces within those two parts of the lid, that is both of those pieces across. When I do my edge flipping algorithm, I'm also going to be using the bandaged face at the front. If I spin the cube around so that I've got my unbandaged face at the front now, and I apply Sune or the parity algorithm, I'll be rotating whole blocks of pieces. So I'll be rotating all three edge pieces together around if I use the bandaged face at the front. So both of those things are handy. That's just to let you know when I'm going to be using which algorithms and what it's going to be doing. My strategy for setting up my target pattern for orientation is to make and store pieces. So I'll be making pieces that I want and storing pieces that I want to keep, and hence breaking apart pieces that I don't want. Essentially, the algorithm, as you saw, moves this piece up over to here. So this piece here is the piece that is going to be that I'm going to make and place up into my top layer. This piece is going to be the piece, one of the pieces that I'm going to store, because that piece just moves to there and doesn't break apart at all. This piece is another piece that's going to be stored because nothing happens to this piece. This piece is going to replace this piece down here. So it's coming down like that to sit in here. So I'm getting rid of that piece because I don't want it in this layer. This piece is going to be the piece that's going to be broken. So because this piece comes down and chops it off, it's going to be broken, and it's going to be broken when I push that up to there. What I intend to make is two full pieces like this in any order. So two of those, one of those, and one of those. Now they can't, like I said, they don't have to be in any particular order around here. They don't have to be in the orientation order, as long as I've got two of those, one of those, and one of those. Let's have a look at a situation in which we can go about putting that into practice and orientate this green cross. First thing I notice is this piece here. I've got one completed piece, but I don't have another one, and I need two. There's one piece down in the side here, so I can move some of these around until it lines up with a piece like this, and use that piece to go up and create that other piece. I can switch those two pieces, or switch the top two groups of pieces around with the parity alg just by putting it to the back there and performing that. So I can go RU minus, RU, RU, RU minus, R minus, U minus, R2U, and I will have switched that piece onto there to create a piece that I can push up into there. And I can then use Sune to rotate, or the parity alg to switch out any other pieces that I don't want to keep. In this case, I don't want to keep that anyway, because that I know I don't have a piece that looks like that in my final end game. So I want to keep that. I've got one of those, let's see how we go if we perform our edge flipping algorithm here. Front, up, right, back, front, back. The next thing I notice is that I don't have any empty pieces. That might mean that I'm going to have to break up one of these. So I'm going to place this one up here and see how I go. Now I've got everything that I desired. I've got two pieces that are completely solved, one edge piece that's just got the inside edge piece orientated, and one with nothing. If I move this around, I want to look for this piece here. I need to rotate some of these pieces so that this piece here is underneath this group of pieces. So this is exactly how I want it in the end. If I apply Sune a couple of times across there, I will eventually move it so that that piece is on there. And that piece is on there. Now I've got the blocks of pieces exactly how I want them. So I'm going to move around to this face here and use Sune to rotate them until I get the blocks in the correct spot. So let's move whole blocks of 3 edge pieces together. And that is exactly what I want when I want to orientate it. I've taken a fairly complex one, or a convoluted way of getting there, to try to show you exactly what happens and what I want to do and how I'm going about trying to achieve it. Normally it happens fairly fast. Normally this will be 1 or 2 moves and the thing will be solved. But anyway, I don't want to do this on an unbandaged face, do I? So let's move it back to my bandaged face, and front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back, and you'll see the pieces are orientated. So the final part of the end game is going to be, first of all, to rotate the cap here, the top part, and not worry about these, just to line up these 2 pieces here. I'm going to look and see if any are solved. None are solved, so I'm going to perform Sune randomly across here. I've got 2 solved now, 2 unsolved, which is my parity algorithm. So I'll perform my parity algorithm. And now I've got all of my pieces solved. I have to move across to my unbandaged face now to rotate the whole edge groups and line up 1. I've got the situation where 2 are lining up, so I'm just going to perform Sune. And now I've got the situation where I've got only 1 lining up, and I've got my cage completely solved. I hope that explanation was good enough. It's quite an easy thing when you know what you're doing, and this little part here is like a puzzle in itself, so I actually quite enjoy solving that.